Because China is a China's line goes viral these days. And during these two sessions, the Chinese government sets its growth target around 5% and also emphasized on the importance of consumption. So how strong will the consumption recovery will be, and what's the new economic priority highlighted by the targets? Today's InShanghai Roundtable might give you the answer. Welcome to join us this InShanghai Roundtable. I'm glad to invite two friends of mine.
My name's David Zahner. I'm a partner at Bain & Company, and I lead Bain's consumer products consulting practice across Asia Pacific.
And my name is Ramon Sariego. I'm Managing Director for China. I'm based here in Shanghai for already 3 years.
In the JP Morgan newly released analysis that said they expect the consumption will contribute 4% of the China's GDP this year. So I wonder, what's your view? Do you think consumption will be the key driver of China's economy?
Yeah, I think most analysts think that China's economy will grow 5% or even above 5% this year, and consumption is likely to be the key driver. It all depends on consumer confidence. During the pandemic, Chinese households saved more than they had in the past, but consumer confidence in January, although it was up a little bit on December.
We remain very positive for China, not only this year, for the coming years as well. And it's true that the consumer goods industry is one of the engine of the economy.
During this China Springs Festival, we have seen a lot of the strong recovery of the consumption in China. Even some sector even surpassed its market performance in pre-COVID, like in 2019. But I wonder that how strong the consumption recovery will be.
The expectation for the second and the third quarter is very promising. So everything is ready. We just need to build this confidence. The middle class consumer is growing very fast, and they are ready to buy those amazing products with connectivity, with sustainability as well. So everything is ready.
Pattern of recovery was different across sectors. Petrol and catering, so things to do with travel, were recovering very quickly.
It's the first time that after the pandemic you came to China, and how does it feel?
For our business in Asia, China is the most important market for consumer products. I think Chinese consumer companies and Western companies doing business in China are having to reinvent what it means to be consumer-centric.
Yesterday, I interviewed Agog CEO Shen in Shanghai, and he was also on his business trip to China. So let's see what he shared his view about this Chinese market.
We've been here for 45 years. We have 600 hotels in China, so it's expanding very fast. But I think we can do much better. I think the domestic leisure market in China will be probably even stronger this year compared to 2019. So I'm a full optimist on China inbound and probably China outbound. China is extremely important, and I'm so happy to be back. You really have to know that China will be the largest hospitality market in the world. It's only a matter of time, and I believe less than 10 years. So it's a market you can't miss. It's a market you need to participate, but it's also a market in which you need to be trusting local partners. So the next 20 years is going to be extraordinary. And we want to invest in Guangdong. We want to further invest in Shenzhen. Shanghai, I love. Beijing, so it's all over.
The consumption recovery is for sure to have been regained momentum. But compared with the pre-COVID, do you think the importance of Chinese role has been changed?
You know, China is the second largest economy in the world, and actually it's a very promising market. So in Electrolux is one of the strategic markets, which means that we are willing to invest in China, and we already have, by example, one of the 5 R&D centers, globally R&D centers, here in Shanghai. We need to be really a consumer-driven company.
Most Western companies continue to believe China is the most exciting consumer story in the world. So per capita disposable income will more or less double between now and 2030.
We also can see this market is becoming more and more sophisticated. Like you mentioned, you have your R&D in China. What kind of the suggestion that you think the company should take measures to better fit this market?
We see a lot of innovation here, which are absolutely amazing. We need to have more consumer data to understand exactly what are the expectations. And the example is the connectivity and the sustainability thing. One of the channels which is very interesting is the online channel, because it's a kind of integrated channel into the offline and online. Everything goes together, let's say. So you can touch a consumer online and he's going to buy offline and the opposite. So to do that one, actually, we are bringing more innovation and we are learning also from innovations that we see here in China.
We see a few different types of strategy. One is most companies have a China for China strategy. And then we see companies using China as a source of R&D. And so I believe there's something like 500 R&D centers here in Shanghai alone. And these are focused on the Chinese market, but then also innovations that can be taken elsewhere in the world.
And in your view, has the pandemic kind of reshaped the Chinese consumer behavior or preference?
As in many markets, there will be probably some changes in the way consumers think about the need for health and wellness.
Yeah, the consumption revival is really related with confidence. To boost the consumption market in Chinese market, what kind of advice that you suggest, like for policymakers?
China moves very fast, you know, and this is why even if I see a first quarter still growing but slowly, I have big expectation for the rest of the year.
And I would say I think that the Chinese government, by being clear on its growth target, will already do a lot to begin to have people start to feel more confident. And as Ramon said, I think it just takes a little bit of time.
So since China reopened, we have a lot of visits. I mean, not only from David, thank you for being here, but also from the headquarters. So 2 weeks ago, I had the headquarters in Singapore. Everyone was basically here to really see China and what's happening in China and how China has changed. And next month, I have a lot of people coming also from Stockholm. Mm-hmm. So they really want to see and to feel how China is developing.
China, and I think really only by being here and meeting some of the companies and seeing how much innovation is happening can you really appreciate just how fast the market moves, but also how ambitious a growth opportunity China can be.
Last, we'll talk about a very line goes virus, like next China is China. I don't know what you think of it. Is it just a slogan, or it's a conclusion that draws from analysis?
But if you look forward and you say, well, what is the next most exciting growth story? Actually, there's nothing that is more exciting than the next chapter of Chinese growth.
China is moving very fast, you know, and is growing very fast. And we need to be here to capture this one. So we need to take fast decision to be able to be in that train. And it's very exciting to be in the train of China, I would say, right now.
People always mention the China speed, which means very fast. So hopefully we can get this consumption revival also in China speed. And see you next time.